One of the greatest myths about aging is the belief that balance naturally disappears after 60, as if the body quietly decides it can no longer keep you upright. But balance is not a fixed trait that fades on a schedule. It is a living, adaptable system. It is a continuous conversation happening inside you every second, between your brain, your inner ear, your eyes, your muscles, your joints, and even the pressure sensors in your feet. When that conversation becomes less active, stability weakens. But when it is stimulated and challenged, it strengthens again. Think about what really happens when you stand still. Your body is never truly still. Tiny muscles around your ankles are making constant adjustments. Your hips are subtly shifting. Your core is gently engaging to keep your center of gravity aligned over your feet. At the same time, your inner ear is detecting head position and motion through fluid-filled canals that respond to even the slightest movement. Your eyes scan the environment, giving your brain visual reference points. All of this information travels at remarkable speed to your brain, which processes it and sends corrective signals back down to your muscles. This loop happens in milliseconds. As we grow older, this system does not shut down, it simply becomes less challenged. Many people move less, sit more, and avoid activities that feel unstable. The brain, being efficient, reduces resources allocated to systems that are not used often. Neural pathways involved in balance may weaken, not because of age alone, but because of reduced stimulation. Muscles that once reacted quickly become slower, not because they are incapable, but because they are undertrained. The remarkable truth is that the human nervous system remains adaptable well into later decades of life. This adaptability is known as neuroplasticity. Even after 60, 70, or 80, the brain can form new connections, strengthen existing ones, and improve communication speed between sensory input and muscular response. When you challenge your balance in safe, controlled ways, you are essentially telling your brain that this skill is still important. The brain listens, it responds, it upgrades the system. Muscle tissue behaves the same way. If you gently load and activate stabilizing muscles, especially those in the ankles, hips, and core, they respond by becoming stronger and more coordinated. Reaction time can improve, joint awareness can sharpen. The body can relearn how to correct itself quickly when it stumbles. Balance, then, is not a fragile gift that disappears with age. It is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice and declines with neglect. Age may change recovery time and require smarter training, but it does not eliminate the body's capacity to adapt. When you understand that balance is a trainable system rather than an age limit, something shifts inside you. Fear begins to loosen, possibility begins to expand, and the simple act of standing upright becomes a reminder that your body is still capable of learning, strengthening, and refining itself in ways that may surprise you. The 5 essential daily exercises for stability are powerful not because they are complex, but because they directly target the systems that keep you upright. They retrain communication between your brain and body in the most practical way possible. Each movement challenges a different piece of the balance equation, and together they create a foundation of strength, coordination, and confidence that supports every step you take. Standing on one leg may appear almost too simple to matter, yet it activates an intricate network of stabilizing muscles and neural pathways. The moment one foot leaves the ground, your base of support narrows, and your body must respond. The ankle begins making rapid micro-adjustments. The toes press downward to grip the surface. The hip muscles on the standing side engage to prevent your pelvis from dropping. Your core subtly tightens to keep your spine aligned. Meanwhile, your brain is processing constant sensory information from the foot, the inner ear, and your eyes. Over time, this practice sharpens proprioception, the body's sense of position in space, allowing quicker and more precise corrections when you stumble.
Heel-to-toe walking builds on this foundation by introducing controlled movement. When you place the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other, you challenge side-to-side stability. This strengthens the hip abductors, the often overlooked muscles responsible for keeping your body from swaying. It also refines coordination between the left and right sides of the brain, improving gait efficiency. Because most falls occur during motion rather than stillness, practicing slow, deliberate walking patterns enhances your ability to manage shifting weight with control. Controlled head movements while standing stimulate the vestibular system inside the inner ear. As you gently turn your head side to side or nod up and down, the fluid within the semicircular canals moves, sending signals about orientation and acceleration to the brain. This system can become less responsive with age, contributing to dizziness or imbalance. By practicing these movements in a calm, steady manner, you retrain the brain to interpret motion accurately and confidently, reducing disorientation and strengthening equilibrium. The sit-to-stand transition is one of the most functional exercises you can perform. Rising from a chair without using your hands strengthens the quadriceps, glutes, and core while training your body to control its center of mass as it shifts forward and upward. Lowering yourself back down slowly builds eccentric strength, which is critical for joint protection and stability. This single movement mirrors real-life demands and reinforces independence. Ankle mobility exercises complete the system. Slow rotations, flexing, and pointing of the feet maintain joint flexibility and tendon responsiveness. Since the ankles are the first to react when balance is disturbed, improving their mobility enhances your body's ability to make rapid corrections. Together, these 5 exercises create a comprehensive approach to retraining stability, strengthening key muscles, and refining the reflexes that keep you steady in everyday life. Nutrition is often overlooked when people talk about balance, yet it forms the biological foundation that makes stability possible. Muscles do not function without fuel. Nerves do not transmit signals efficiently without proper nutrients. Bones cannot remain strong without the minerals that support their structure. When we think about never losing balance again after 60, we must look beyond movement alone and consider what we are feeding the system that moves us. Protein becomes especially important with age. After 60, the body naturally loses muscle mass in a process known as sarcopenia. This loss is not simply about appearance or strength. It directly affects stability. Muscles are the engines that respond when you trip, slip, or shift your weight unexpectedly. Without adequate protein intake, muscle repair slows and strength gradually declines. Including high-quality protein sources such as eggs, fish, legumes, yogurt, or lean meats in daily meals helps preserve and rebuild muscle tissue. Even small, consistent increases in protein can make a meaningful difference in maintaining leg strength and reaction speed. Micronutrients also play a critical role. Calcium supports bone density, reducing fracture risk in the event of a fall. Vitamin D enhances calcium absorption and supports muscle function. Many older adults have low vitamin D levels due to reduced sun exposure, which can subtly weaken both bones and balance. Magnesium contributes to muscle relaxation and nerve transmission, helping prevent cramps and stiffness that could interfere with coordinated movement. These nutrients work together quietly, supporting the structural and neurological systems that keep you upright. Hydration is another underestimated factor. Even mild dehydration can cause fatigue, dizziness, and slower cognitive processing. When fluid levels drop, blood pressure may fluctuate more easily upon standing, increasing the risk of lightheadedness. Drinking water consistently throughout the day stabilizes circulation and supports mental clarity. Clear thinking translates to quicker physical reactions, which is essential for maintaining balance in dynamic environments. A diet rich in colorful vegetables and fruits provides antioxidants that reduce inflammation and support nerve health. Chronic inflammation can impair joint mobility and slow recovery from minor injuries. Leafy greens, berries, citrus fruits, and cruciferous vegetables nourish the body at a cellular level, protecting the tissues that contribute to coordination and movement. Healthy fats, particularly those from sources like nuts, seeds, olive oil, and fatty fish, support brain health. The brain is the command center of balance, constantly integrating sensory input and issuing motor responses. Providing it with the right fats enhances cognitive function and neural efficiency. When nutrition aligns with movement, the effects multiply. Muscles respond better to exercise. Recovery improves. Energy levels stabilize. Balance training becomes more effective because the body has the resources it needs to adapt. Food is not merely sustenance, it is information that instructs the body how to repair, strengthen, and function. By choosing nourishing foods consistently, you build an internal environment where stability is supported from the inside out, creating a resilient foundation for strength and independence well beyond 60.
Light daily movement and smart lifestyle habits are often underestimated because they seem ordinary, almost too simple to be powerful. Yet, it is in these small, consistent actions that long-term stability is built. After 60, the goal is not intense strain or exhaustion. The goal is continuity. The body thrives on regular signals that say, stay active, stay responsive, stay adaptable. When those signals are present every day, even in gentle forms, coordination improves, joints remain mobile, and reaction time stays sharp. Walking is one of the most accessible and effective forms of movement. A steady daily walk stimulates circulation, strengthens the legs, and reinforces natural gait patterns. Each step is a balance exercise in itself, requiring subtle weight shifts and coordinated muscle activation. Walking outdoors adds another layer of benefit. Uneven surfaces like grass or gentle slopes challenge stabilizing muscles in ways flat indoor floors cannot. Sunlight exposure during these walks supports vitamin D production, which contributes to bone strength and muscle function. Fresh air and natural surroundings also calm the nervous system, reducing stress that can otherwise tighten muscles and disrupt coordination. Gentle practices like stretching, yoga, or Tai Chi further enhance balance by improving flexibility and body awareness. Tight muscles restrict joint movements and limit your ability to adjust quickly when you lose stability. Slow, mindful stretching maintains elasticity in the calves, hips, and lower back, areas crucial for upright posture. Tai Chi, in particular, has been widely observed to enhance balance because of its controlled, flowing weight shifts and focused attention on posture. These movements teach the body how to transition smoothly from one position to another without sudden, jerky motions. Sleep is another pillar of stability that many overlook. During deep sleep, the brain consolidates motor patterns learned during the day. If you practice balance exercises, your brain strengthens those neural connections while you rest. Poor sleep, on the other hand, impairs reaction time, attention, and coordination. Even one restless night can make you feel slightly unsteady. Establishing consistent sleep routines, limiting late-night stimulation, and creating a calm environment for rest directly support your physical steadiness. Stress management is equally important. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, which over time can weaken muscles and affect cognitive clarity. Stress also changes posture. When anxious, people tend to tense their shoulders, tighten their jaw, and shorten their steps. This rigidity interferes with fluid movement. Simple breathing exercises, moments of quiet reflection, or spending time with loved ones help regulate the nervous system. A calm mind produces smoother, more coordinated movement. Daily habits such as wearing supportive footwear, keeping living spaces free of clutter, and ensuring adequate lighting also contribute to balance.
These practical choices reduce environmental risks while your body strengthens internally. When light movement, restorative sleep, stress awareness, and mindful daily routines come together, they create a supportive ecosystem for stability. None of these habits demand extremes. They ask for consistency, and it is this steady, moderate rhythm of care that preserves independence, enhances coordination, and keeps the body confidently aligned with gravity as the years move forward. Mindset is often the invisible force behind physical ability, especially after 60. Two people can have similar strength, similar health, similar mobility, yet one walks with confidence while the other walks with hesitation. The difference is not always in the muscles, it is often in the belief system guiding those muscles. The way you think about aging shapes how you move within it. When someone begins to believe that decline is inevitable, the body subtly follows that expectation. Steps become shorter, posture becomes guarded, movements become cautious and stiff. This protective behavior may feel safe, but it actually reduces natural fluidity. Muscles tighten unnecessarily. Reaction time slows because the brain is operating from fear rather than calm responsiveness. Over time, this cautious pattern can increase fall risk rather than reduce it. On the other hand, when you adopt the belief that improvement is still possible, your body responds differently. Confidence changes posture. You stand taller. Your gaze lifts forward instead of down. Your stride becomes more natural. This is not imagination, it is neurology. The brain constantly predicts outcomes based on belief and past experience. If it predicts danger in every movement, it primes the body for tension. If it predicts capability, it allows smoother coordination. Fear of falling is common and understandable. One fall can create a deep psychological imprint. The brain remembers the event and heightens alertness in similar situations. But that heightened alertness can turn into chronic anxiety, which disrupts balance further. The key is not to ignore fear, but to retrain the brain gradually through safe, repeated success. Each time you practice standing on one leg and remain steady, even for a few seconds, you send a new message to your nervous system. I am capable. Each time you rise from a chair with control, you reinforce competence. These small victories accumulate. Language matters as well. The words you use internally influence your physiology. Saying, I'm too old for this, subtly limits effort. Saying, I'm training my body, invites growth. The brain does not distinguish sharply between thought and instruction. Repeated thoughts become internal commands. Positive self-talk is not denial of aging, it is direction for adaptation. Curiosity also strengthens mindset. Instead of viewing exercise as a chore, view it as exploration. Notice how your ankle feels during mobility drills. Observe how your balance improves week by week. When you approach movement with curiosity rather than judgment, stress decreases and learning accelerates. Gratitude plays a powerful role too. Appreciating what your body can still do shifts focus away from perceived losses. Gratitude lowers stress hormones and supports emotional resilience. Emotional resilience translates into steadier movement because a calm nervous system coordinates more efficiently. Aging is not a collapse, it is a transition into refinement. You may move differently than you did at 40, but different does not mean weaker. It can mean wiser, more intentional, more aware. When your mindset aligns with growth rather than decline, your body receives permission to keep adapting. Confidence builds stability from the inside out, and that internal steadiness becomes visible in every step you take.